Oh, two. H. This is really Benjaxed. But anyway. Now, welcome to the stream. There we go. We won't have any more technical issues. And as I was saying before, this pencil is one I got from Emma Langford with her album Sewing Acorns. Well, the single on a cassette, which is very, very cool. Very cool. I love her cassette and I love the pencil. Pencil is very, very cool. So, yes. And yeah, so if you haven't listened to Emma Langford's music, listen to Emma Langford's music. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love it. Right, so here we go. We're going to start off. We're going to be drawing Wolverine this evening. I was trying to think of who I could draw, and one person I've always, well, there's a few characters when I was a kid I used to always draw, and one of them was Wolverine, and the other ones were the Ninja Turtles, and the other one, of course, then being Batman. I don't know why I said of course. There's no of course there. Why would it be of course Batman? But I like drawing Batman and I like drawing Wolverine. Do you know what I always thought was interesting about Wolverine and Batman? Well, one, why did Wolverine have a secret identity? The rest of them didn't have secret identities. Why is he wearing a mask? That's a different story. But anyway, I started drawing Wolverine and I'll start talking about him. But I like about Wolverine when I was a kid was that he reminded me of Batman a bit. Because of the cowl, basically. I think there was the Amalgamation comics where they combined the two DC and Marvel, and they basically made an amalgamation Batman Wolverine character. I think it was Batman Wolverine, which really I don't know if that go. I suppose it does go well, you know. I haven't actually read it, but I was like, oh yeah. I think the idea was that it was like as if a fan had created this little pocket universe type of a thing. And I don't know. Do you know what? It's kind of nice to see the two companies get along. As weird as that sounds, two major corporations getting along sounds a bit deft. But I remember being a kid and being like, oh, they can get along. That's pretty cool. People you'd think, could they be rivals, you know? This is the first run of Wolverine anyway. And I might do another one in if I don't really like how this is turning out. But I think I like how it's turning out so far. This is just the head, of course. Doing the full body then. But yeah. Snicked, as Wolverine is wont to say, isn't he? He goes, snicked. And Bob, he says an awful lot. He says Bob. And let's see now. Yes. Like you're my version of Wolverine. This isn't anyone else's version of Wolverine. This is my version of Wolverine. It was gonna look a bit strange, maybe, but anyway, okay. Don't know, little line there. Need to get some kind of mouth. And going along. I don't know how I'm gonna pose him. I think I'm after maybe doing too much. Maybe I should have done a bit more of a model first. You know, a brief outline, and then erase with ink and stuff like that afterwards. But we are where we are now, and I suppose I can always do another one again. That's the joy of drawing, isn't it? You can always do another one. There's no limit to how many times you can do it. You know, don't do it right the first time you go, I ruined this. You get a bit frustrated. I do anyway. When I used to draw an awful lot more than I do now, unfortunately, I don't get a chance to draw as much now. But the thing I always got annoyed with, I'd always get frustrated. Something would go wrong, and I'd get so frustrated that it wouldn't be perfect. And then you see how someone, like professional artists, draw, and you go like, oh, they're drawing the basic outline, then they draw it again, and they go over it. It's not just one go and they're done. It seems a bit silly now that I ever thought that. But I did. I was thinking, oh, they can just do it in one go and it's great. And I don't know, I felt a bit silly I ever used to think like that. But anyway, you grow with age, I suppose. You grow with age. Oh, so profound. What a doofus. Anyway, I think something else I don't like is how people sometimes make Wolverine lanky. Wolverine isn't lanky. He's not tall. Wolverine's about my height, isn't he? Make that more kind of center of the screen. Sorry, folks. He's more like he's about like 5'4", 5'5", there around. Do you know that kind of height? I think. Yeah, unless they changed it, I don't know. Maybe they changed it to fit in with the films and stuff. But aren't most actors kind of short though? Aren't most actors kind of like 5'7"? Oh, that's not short. I mean, like 5'8"'s the average, I think, for height of a man. So if you're over 5'8", you're tall. Okay? Alright? This, I don't know the way like proportions going on here. This is getting dicey, lads. This is getting dicey. I might just, you know what? As I say, I can always do another one if I don't like how this is going. I might just kind of maybe draw it out a bit better. Never claim to be a professional artist. So if you're joining me thinking, oh, Mike is a professional artist, that's not what you're getting. You're getting a doodler. A person who likes to doodle. What's going on with him? Let's see. Maybe he's holding something. Maybe I could put in the claws here, I guess. Yeah. These are the most janky looking claws, but anyway. And he has swoosh. He's after slicing off the top of a bottle. Soda, I assume. He's drinking an old sody pop. Right? Okay? But yeah. What's happening here? Wolverine's a weird character. That it's like a character that was on a kids' TV show because he's known for like drinking cigars and what's going on there with the hand? This isn't a hand. It's some kind of a monster. This is he's mutated. That's what it is. Okay, so I haven't made a mistake. It's not bad. He's mutated. Hang on. I'll draw the top of the bottle here. Jeepers, this is all gone wrong, lads. It's all gone wrong. There's so many things wrong with this. Oh my goodness. Grr. I've mutated. M-U-T-A-T. And and I can't spell. No, what's happening? Grr, I've mutated and I can't spell. Right, there's the first go of it. Well, let's give a better go of it. Come on. Let's do a better go. Let's give him a better chance here now. Let's draw properly. Okay. I think I'm gonna have him crouching or something because he always seems to be crouching. He's always up to something. Wolverine. I find, he's always up to something. He's a shifty man. He's a shifty man. I've always said that about Wolverine. He's a shifty man. What's he up to? Shifting, probably. Who's he shifting? I don't know. Jean Grey, probably. Scandalous. Doesn't he know? Jean Grey is Scott's girlfriend. What's going on? The drama in the X-Men, lads. The drama in the X-Men. I don't know, lads. You know, if I was Wolverine, I'd go. Why don't I just ask out like one of the other Lady X-Men? You know, like Rogue. Well, she said this whole thing with Gambus. Or what about Storm? He's dating Storm in that Days of Future Past. They never bring that up again. They never like go back and say like, oh yes, here's the further relationship of Storm and Wolverine. You know, like that's what I want to see. Okay, this is slightly better because I'm doing proper little portion things here now, and it's not going to look as bad as the last one because the last one was kind of, you know, you can be messing around, but it's like, you know what? Might as well do it somewhere, right? Like we're only doing it for fun, but still, you might as well, if you're going to do it, you do it right. You know, it's true, isn't it? I think so. You know, let's see. How do we like those portions? Well, I think they're okay. I think I put a bit of muscle there just to indicate that. And there to indicate that. It's a good thing, lads. It's a good thing that superheroes wear spandex. That's all I'll say. Makes it very easy to draw them. Because if you're drawing like take Gambit. If you're drawing Gambit, you're like get that big coat all the time. And it's like, oh, come on. Gambit, just take the jacket off. You know, come on, like. That's what I would say. If I was Chris Claremont back in the day, drawing him, was like, I know. Who used to draw for him? He was it John Byrne used to draw them? I think John Byrne drew them before he went off and did the Superman reboot, of course, Man of Steel. And I think Jim Lee did a good couple of issues, and that would have been the comics I would have seen when I was a kid then, the Jim Lee X-Men. I tell you what though, I go back and I look at the old X-Men from the 60s, and they don't have anything on the newer ones after Chris Claremont took over. It's like a totally different meaning. I think originally they were meant to be, it was an allegory for race and stuff, race relations in America. But as it's been pointed out before, it's like well, no one ever woke up and said, here, mum and dad, I'm white. Oh gosh, you have to come out to be white. You don't really have to come out and say, here, mum and dad, I'm actually Indian or Chinese. You know, you're just born that way, and everyone knows that. But then I think what Chris Claremont kind of said later, he goes, well, really, what it's more an analogy for. And of course, in the 80s, then it was like a big thing because the AIDS epidemic was gay people, you know, LGBTQIA folks, the whole spectrum there. Spectrum, I don't know what I mean by that, but I mean, you know, like it really does kind of fit that, if anything, you know, if we're going to make it correlate to anything, it kind of more correlates to that, I think, you know. Of course, you know, it's persecution of any kind, really. I suppose the X-Men, they're banding together to change people's minds and protect themselves. This looks more like Beast, but I suppose Beast and Wolverine aren't that dissimilar. I suppose. I'll make him a bit of a. I think this is better than the last one. The last one we'll just pretend didn't happen at all, right? Okay. I think that's for the best, to be honest. We won't say anything. We'll just go, no, we don't know what you're talking about. If anyone asks you, if someone comes up to you in the street and says, did Michael draw Wolverine in a really weird way? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. You probably would. You'd be like, what are you talking about? You wouldn't remember that on the street. You'd be like, what are you? Get away from me. You wouldn't say, what are you? You'd know what they were. But, anyway. Yeah. X-Men, huh? Of course, Wolverine didn't start off in the X-Men. Wolverine was originally a character from The Incredible Hulk. Which am I wrong? I am wrong. I was going to say I'm wrong in saying that it was Chris Claremont that wrote that issue. I don't think I am right in saying that. I'll tell you who it was, though. The guy whose name escapes me right now. The guy who wrote that Wolverine issue, the Hulk issue, that introduced Wolverine, he was actually the editor. He became the editor. He became an editor in DC Comics, and he was the editor of Watchmen, Alan Moore's book. Alan Moore and Dave. I say Dave Sims. I'm wrong in saying that. Oh, them's gonna drive me crazy. You know, the artist who did Watchmen. Oh, mercy. See, if I had my phone now, which I'm using to broadcast, I could look that up and not. No, it's not Dave Sims. Dave Sims is the guy who did flipping what you call it, Cerberus. Not Dave Sims. I don't know. Oh, someone knows. Leave in chat. Right. So we're gonna move along now. Move down here a little bit. Over here. Down we go. Actually, I think the editor who was the person who was the editor of the Watchmen book, the ending he took issue with. He was like, "Come on, Alan, you could do better than that." And people have criticized the ending of that book. I won't spoil it here if you haven't read it, because it's a fantastic book if you haven't read it. The TV show is supposed to be great, but I haven't seen that though. I've heard great things about it though. I don't know. I'm a bit weird about watching stuff that's an adaptation of Alan Moore's work, because I know that he's not a fan of people make, because they kind of mucked him about a small bit with stuff, and there are all these sequels and stuff that's his work, and it's like, on hang on, I didn't come up with this. Why are you adding things on? You're using my characters and stuff like that. But anyway, that's a conversation for a different day. Okay. Again, this is really just sketchy at the moment. We're gonna add more details in later on. We can erase and add more stuff, and again, I'm not a professional artist. We're like on, like, this is very bad. I know it is, but I'm gonna make it maybe stylized a little bit actually to fit my kind of more cartoony kind of style. Then it'd be I'm not sure if I'm happy with the position of his head there. Might move this and move it down slightly. Okay, move it down, bring it over a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe it was better before, but oh well. No, I don't want that much exposed there. Just like you said. Okay, I'll come back to that later on. I'm jumping the gun there a small bit by putting that in there. Yeah, I'll jump back to that. I'll come back to that again later on. Okay. Right, I'm gonna bring that over there for now, and we'll deal with that later on. Let's see now. I'm gonna put in some more details maybe into his costume. Do you know what I never understood? Sometimes Wolverine has yellow and blue. That's his costume. Yellow and blue costume with some stripes coming in here, right? That's Wolverine. But then other times, now you're going to say, well, yes, sometimes he doesn't have the costume at all. He's like a leather outfit, like in the films. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the comics, he'd have a orange orange and black only. And it's in some of the animated shows as well. I think the X-Men, what was the one? Extreme X-Men? No, I'm wrong. The X-Men series they made after the 90s one, the middle one. And he had an orange and black one in that, I think. And I think as well, if memory serves, he has that outfit as well in Wolverine and the X-Men, which is another series that lasted, I think, a series before being axed. And I didn't see it on TV. I borrowed someone's DVD of it actually, I think. I actually want to bring that over there. I'll rub that out there now. Okay. Make it a little bit thicker over there. I'll see a bit of a thick boy. Right. So, let's see. What should I do next? I'm gonna bring in some here, around there. Right. Start adding more bit more details, I suppose. So we're going along and adding things in and changing things and rubbing things out and everything. The other I wasn't a fan of for a long time there in comics was the digital kind of drawing. And no, not digital drawing in and of itself. I think that's great. I use it an awful lot. But some people had kind of a comics for a little while there got a little bit samey, a little bit kind of samey, and I'm not a fan of that. I like when comics look different. You know, I go, oh, that's that artist, that's this artist. Whereas I saw for a while there, not all comics obviously, but for a few superhero comics were a little bit samey, kind of coloring, kind of like that, you know. But yeah, you know, I said that, but I couldn't do as well a job, you know. So I'm not really knocking it. I'm just saying I saw a little bit. It was only like one or two things. I couldn't even remember the names of the titles of the comics now I saw, but I remember going, I've seen that kind of done before. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I don't think it lasts very long because now you look at a comic, you go, wow, really get a sense of the artist, you know. Was every now and again you'll hear about, oh, comics are finished, comics are done, you know, but not the way it looks like to me at all. If anything, comics are doing a great job at the moment. There's some brilliant comics out now, you know, absolutely astounding art, writing, everything, you know, absolutely brilliant stuff going on in comics. And if you only watch the films, lads, I really recommend you check out what's going on in your favourite superheroes, what's going on in their books nowadays. Because you might be pleasantly surprised. You'll be like, wow. This maybe thinking, you know, I've only ever been a fan of Superman comics. Maybe you never even read a Superman comic. I recommend reading them at the moment because they are very good. There's a very good story there where a couple of months ago where Jonathan Kent, Clark Kent's son, if you could believe it, yeah, he has a son, he went to the future, which is kind of like college in a weird way, because he was going off and he was learning with other superheroes in the future, and well, you had Clark kind of dealing with it in his own way and happy that Jonathan was going, but you know, a little bit sad as well, you know. And little like I love stuff like that. Like when you get to see like, oh, there's I don't know. I love stuff like that, like with Clark Kent and Superman and everything. Like, do you mean where it's you get and there's exciting dynamics. Like, there was like a story where they went to an island where it was like dinosaurs and everything, and it was all kind of fun stuff like that as well. And there's like stuff with Lex Luthor, and he was a version of himself in the future, and it was absolutely fantastic reading, you know, lately. Some people might be thinking, Michael, you're very bloody kind of about Superman comics. But I gotta tell you, folks, if you're looking for a good time, I recommend him. I don't know what's going on in X-Men at the moment, though. But tell you what I recommend in X-Men, though, is X-Men Grand Designs by Ed Piskor, sorry. And he did it's like the 80s one, kind of done the style a little bit older, like 70s kind of style. And it's fantastic. I recommend that. Ed Piskor is a great artist and everything. He did a book with Harvey Pekar, actually, who is of course from, if you ever saw the film, I was gonna say Eternal Sunshine. He did the film. He from American Splendor. If you ever saw that film, American Splendor, the comic there. He did a comic with Ed Piskor, or yeah. Ed Piskor did the art. Right. So that's a kind of a line, I suppose. Right. And it's not looking too bad, no. Like, I mean, this hand needs to be detailed more. I mean, this is crazy. This is very bad, you know. But look, I'm gonna say it again. Not a professional artist. You know. Just the fact that I like to mess about. You know what I mean? I like to mess about, like, with drawing and stuff like that. Like, I like to mess about sometimes. Yeah, we go. Slightly better. Not perfect. Oh, that's actually worse somehow. Not as bad as the first go. Not as bad as the first one. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. But, you know. What do we fall down, Mr. Bruce? He doesn't call him Mr. Bruce, calls him just Bruce. Does he? Does he? I don't know. Tenet is out in cinemas. Have you seen Tenet? If you do, tell me what you think of it, because I have absolutely no intention of seeing that film. Nothing against Christopher Nolan. Nothing against him. Great filmmaker. Love Memento. But, yeah, no. No. Not gonna be going to see that in the cinema. Wouldn't have anyway, even if everything else wasn't going on. Not too inclined to go now either, but yeah, I don't know. Some people say they like it. Some people are just not pushed at all. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I liked his Batman films, that they were okay, but I don't know. You go back and you watch Batman Begins, and you're like, going, why not? I don't know. Do you know what? It makes me want the kind of older, campy Batman again. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what did a great job of mixing the camp and the dynamic and the seriousness and everything was, if you haven't seen it, folks, I cannot rate it highly enough. It's Batman the Brave and the Bold. Absolutely fantastic. Derek Jeter is... Am I saying that right? Is that his name? Yeah, Derek Jeter is Batman in that one. And he does a stellar job. Lads, you'll think I'm being daft. You'll go, I've seen this, Michael, and it's kind of a kiddie kind of show. Well, you'll watch it. And I was about 25 when I saw it. And I was crying at the last episode. Crying. Oh, just got me. He says one thing. It's a very silly, funny episode. And then the end he goes like, he says a thing. I'm not going to spoil it here at all. But it was just, sorry, the thing. What he says is just so sweet. It's just like, wow. Just get you. So if you haven't seen that, I recommend it. I don't know. Are they bringing that HBO Now thing? Are they bringing that to America or Ireland? If they do, I would get that. I would get that. Because there's a lot of good stuff in there, I think. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's all crap. But, yeah. So, anyway. I don't know. I'm not going to sell you some products. I'm not getting paid for it. Hang on a second now. I see where I'm going wrong. Doubling down. That's no good. We don't want to double down at all. That's a bit better than what we were doing. Okay. I did the same thing here. Why do I do that? Why did I do that? It's kind of... You can kind of see him coming around, can't you? Kind of see him... He's coming through. He's coming through a small little bit. You can kind of make him out. There's something wrong with the legs. Maybe... Yeah. Okay. That's a bit better. I think we should have like a hint of an underpants kind of a thing. Good. excuse me. Of course, you know where the latex and everything comes from on superheroes and why they've got underpants and things like that. It's because they were from strongmen shows. Strongmen shows, you know, where you got the guy lifted up, and it's like this weird little just I suppose leader hose and kind of, but like shorts and stuff like that. Kind of shorts come down to here, just up down to here, and yeah, that's what's. So it was kind of like a shorthand, basically. When Superman came along, they'd see that and they go, "Oh, he's a strongman," because he looks like a strongman from the circus. So I know what that is. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's not looking too bad now. Or Wolverine, is he? Looking pretty good. SNIKT. Snicked. I don't know that they do that in the comics. That was always the thing. Snicked. I'm gonna start doodling in now. Filling in bits and pieces. Add some shading, stuff like that. Into a Wolverine. I might draw someone else. Maybe I'll draw Batman after this. But I could start it off with Batman, because Batman's a bit easier to draw. A little bit easier. No, I say easier to draw. I mean, not draw well. I know people that actually do draw Batman and stuff like that. People like Declan Shalvey. Shalvey? I think that's how you pronounce his last name. But Declan, if you haven't checked him out, I guarantee you, if you read comics, you've seen Declan's work. Bog Bodies, Gizzy's new book, is absolutely fantastic artist. I was looking at his Daredevil covers the other day, and I was like, holy moly! You look at it, and you think like there's something you see, and you go, oh, I actually see more, and you look and you see more again, and all the little details he puts in, things in windows. It feels like a lived-in world. You know what I mean? Does an absolutely fantastic job, Declan does. I actually interviewed him for the radio, and he's a very nice man. Right. A bit more. I should have made his neck a bit thicker, I think. Because as I say, Wolverine's, thick. In a good way. I don't mean like thick like, man, he's fair to take a knee. But I mean, like muscly. Chunky. I'm wobbling the camera, sorry. Yeah, what's it talking about? Oh, Batman. Yeah, Batman Brave and the Bold. Great series. Yeah. But that's what watching that, and I was listening to an interview with Grant Morrison, and I was listening to an interview with Alan Moore, and they were kind of going like, there's nothing wrong with embracing the kind of camper, if you want to use that word, side of Batman. You know, that was the Batman we grew up with. And people might go, oh yeah, well, like, when you're a kid, you don't realise how silly it is, and then when you grow up, it's like, no, there's nothing wrong with having serious Batman either. Nothing at all wrong with that. You mean, there's some great stories. I mean, The Long Halloween, which I think they're adapting into an animation, is a fantastic book. If you haven't read that, that's the one I'd shout out. Yeah. To be honest, do you know what, actually? With X-Men, weirdly, what I mostly know of X-Men is from the cartoon, and to kind of a lesser extent than the films. Which, despite some great performances, I don't recommend you watch at all. Just, I don't know. They're okay. They're grand. If you like them, they're good. But, nah, I'm not a huge fan of them. What's his name that played Wolverine is great, though. They're all great, actually. Actually, do you know what actually annoys me about them as well? Like, they had Halle Berry playing Storm. Like, that's amazing casting. To be so lucky to get Halle Berry in the first place, right? She's in there playing Storm, an iconic character, fantastic character, finally getting to see her on the big screen. What did they do with her? Nothing. They did absolutely nothing with the character. Absolutely nothing. I was getting a drink of water. Water down there. Absolutely not a thing did they do with the character. What a waste. to get Halle Berry. Halle Berry! Oscar-winning actress Halle Berry, mind you. Playing in your film, and you do nothing with her. Fantastic character as well, Storm. Easily one of my favourite X-Men characters, Storm. You know? I don't know. Absolutely. You'd wonder, like, you'd actually wonder, like, what's going on in these Hollywood studios where you've got an actress like Halle Berry and, oh, yeah, just stand there in the corner and actually get a bit frightened by Wolverine. Yeah, that's what you could do. Stand in the corner and get a bit frightened by Wolverine. Most powerful X-Men. One of the most powerful X-Men. Wolverine. Or Storm. Come on. Come on. Now, I understand why they focus on Wolverine, of course. I mean, if you're going to say, who am I drawing now? It's Wolverine, you know? So, I'm not giving up about that, but, I don't know. Now I know what's wrong with his hand. I was like, what's going on with the hand? That's what's wrong with him. His thumb isn't going across. It's like it's going into the hand or something. That's what's wrong. It should be all the way over here. And that will bring all the fingers and everything. It was tormenting me. And I bet you it was tormenting you too. You were like, there's something wrong with that fist. And I cannot put my finger on it. Get it? Because it's hands. Okay. I'm going to bring this over now. Okay. I might do some inking and I might not. I don't actually have a pen with me, so I don't know. But yeah. The X-Men cartoon. Oh boys, I was watching that a few weeks ago and it holds up. Maybe it doesn't hold up for everyone, but for me, I loved this an awful lot. I thought it was absolutely fantastic and I still like it to this day. It was very, very well done. It was mad to be able to see them all in one go on Disney Plus thingy. And look, lockdown went on a bit longer than we all expected, and you know, got a bit bored, so I had to get that. So anyway, I had it anyway, and I was watching X-Men, and I was mad because I remember there was a while there where I would hunt down, as Wolverine would hunt down, DVDs. You'd often see Wolverine hunting down DVDs in the shops. But yeah, DVDs to, I don't know, did they come with a magazine or what was the story with them? But they were like these, I don't think they were. But they were DVDs to get, like a couple of episodes in each DVD, and they were all in like second-hand shops and things like that, and it'd be like about £2 per disc. So go in after I did the weekly shop. I'd go around there when I lived in Cork and say, okay, what can I see? Can I find one? Find one? Yes, next couple of episodes. Awesome. I was lucky like that actually. I would find them in order actually, weirdly enough. Didn't always work out like that, but most of the time it worked out like that, so it was handy. Okay. Let's see. Do I like the feet, or how could maybe we improve the feet a small bit? A bit of shadow, maybe. A bit of shadow. Cover up all the sins. The sins being the wonky lines. You put that little heel there. Okay. Alright, that's a Wolverine drawing. That's not... Well... Look, I never claimed to be a professional artist. It's like something that a 15-year-old would draw. Oh dear. Anyway, we'll move on. That's one anyway. I'm going to draw Batman next. Because I'm in the mood to draw Batman now. I spent more of that time talking about Batman than I did talking about the X-Men actually. Batman now. Batman. I have a weird history of Batman. Actually, do you know what? I'm not doing the same thing I did the first time. Where I drew the Hay Night. I'm not doing it properly. Anyway, start again. But I have a weird history of Batman because when I was a kid, the Batman the Animated Series was on. And it was very, very popular. Not with me though. Because it was too dark. I thought lighting wise it was too dark. wasn't a fan at all of the series. Years later, I got it on DVD and I was like, wow, this is amazing. But as a kid, like, I liked it. I'd watch it, but I wasn't a huge fan of it. But I didn't really retain much about the series either. Like, it's too big. Sorry. Once again, I hit the camera. Probably driving me all mad. But I wasn't a huge fan of it. But years later, but what I loved was the Superman series that came out a little bit after that. That was the show for me. That was absolutely brilliant. I loved the animated series of Superman in the 90s. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. I thought everything they fitted into that was great. I think, Michael, this is a weird portion here, but don't worry, I'm going to cover it all up with lines in a minute. No, so you won't really see much of this. Or will I? I don't know what I'm going to do. I wish it's still the penciling stages. Or doodling stages, I should say. But yeah, God, I went back and I watched them on DVD years later, and I actually bought a DVD player to watch the Batman animated series on. I remember booting it up and watching it booting it up. I remember watching them and being so shocked to discover that the Batman animated series I saw as a little boy, the Joker in that was Mark Hamill. Couldn't get over. I was like, what's Mark Hamill doing in this? What's he got to do with Batman? And there he was as Batman. Couldn't believe, or as the Joker, I should say. And the Batman was brilliant. Now see, like, okay, this is what I think. I think if they make another Batman film, right, which they are already, so I don't know what I'm saying. If they make another, could you imagine saying this? If they make another Batman film, as if they would make another Batman film, as if it's not like the biggest cash spinning thing DC have, but I tell you what I'd love is if I wish they'd get Bruce Timm, who was the producer on don't like how I'm drawing there, on the Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Animated Series and all the shows up along all the animated shows in the 90s, and he was the one that was producing them. What am I doing? I don't know what kind of stunts I want to have him in. Do you know what? Hang on. Let's go what I was going to do originally and just do this first. Just a quickie, kind of a Batman drawn. Alright? Actually, you know what? Start again. Try it off. Start again. I'm going to do a very quick one. Very quick Batman drawing. Put more to the center. And yeah. But yeah, I never understood why they didn't have Bruce. Oh my god. They didn't have Bruce Timm produce the films. Because the TV shows were so successful, like, you know? You think, like, well, I don't know. Same reason, I suppose, they don't hire the fantastic writer Gail Simone to write one of the films. I mean, I can't believe they made, like, okay, so I like the Birds of Prey film. I thought it was pretty good. But that being said, I could see how it could have been elevated even more with Gail Simone at the helm. That's all I'll say. Right? That's all I'll say. Because she's written all those characters, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think it is. Why they don't ask the people who make the animated stuff? Why they don't ask the people to draw or write the comics to do them? I said anyway. I don't understand why they don't ask people to draw the comics to do the stylization of the animated stuff either. Doesn't that seem weird when you stop and think about it? Oh, yeah, why don't they get like Jim Lee or something to draw, or John Byrne to draw like his Superman or something, or Jim Lee to draw Batman, or whoever. I don't know. It's odd. I think they're bringing back Static Shock, which I'm very much looking forward to. I hope that happens. There are talks to make a Static Shock film. Yes. If you saw that at the DC Fandom event, I tried watching it, then the traffic got too busy and the website nearly crashed, I think. Oh dear. But it was great to see Jim Lee and all the folks that worked on it. Of course, the writer Static Shock passed away, unfortunately. But it was great seeing all the folks that worked on those comics there to talk about it, and to talk about like what the possible future is, because there should be a possible future, because Static Shock was an iconic show, like, absolutely iconic. So it's really weird why they don't do more with the character, isn't it? This was the quickie one, but I actually think this is a really good drawing now, the way it's turning out. See, I'm saying that I'm only going to jinx it. This is really don't hear much anymore. People saying, "Oh, you jinxed it." Is jinx like? Hope it doesn't have like weird connotations or something. Because I found out the word gypped. That's from gypsy, and it's like, oh, why would you use? It's like in a kind of slur kind of a way. Why would you use that? People didn't know, I suppose, and you go, ooh. Now you know. It's not nice to make it like, oh, you tricked me. It's a whole group of people. What's wrong with people? Like, I don't know. Anyway. Okay. Utility builds. But yeah, I like the Christopher Nolan Batman films. Okay, I guess. I'm not a huge fan of them. See, it seems like I don't like superhero films at all, but I do. But just those few. Should I? No. I'm just gonna give them a little thing there. I'll tell you what I do. What I am a fan of, though, and people might like this. I am a fan of the oval, the yellow oval, with the bat in the center. A lot of people don't like that for some reason. I don't know why. Some people really, really, really don't like it. They get actually angry about the yellow bat. I don't know why. I think it's cool. Oh, it's not very realistic. It's like, it's not realistic. It's not realistic. This lad fights a lizard, man. What are you talking about? Like, realistic. Get out of here. Get out of here. Realistic. Realistic. It's not realistic. He fights a clown. I was just thinking of like Batman, and he's like, he's like, Joker, you're some clown, you know that? Other thing it used to make me laugh, I'd think about like Batman, if it was in like Limerick City or Cork City or something like that, where it's like not a huge place, so you've got like this huge powerful Batmobile, and you got thrusters on, and it's I've overshot again, I can't believe it. Now turn back, and turn around and overshooting every 5 minutes because it's like a super powered car. So, oh dearie me. All right, this isn't looking too bad now. Actually, I'm very happy with how this turned out. Did a little bit of shading, like the whole thing. What's it talking about? Batman the Animated Series, which was great. I I tell you what else was great about Batman the Animated Series. The Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze. What a fantastic character that turned out to be in that show. Because we forget, like, if you're a fan of comics and you like Mr. Freeze, he was not a major villain. And had not been seen in comics for, I think, like 13 or 14 years, which is a long time in comics. He had not been seen, and was a joke character basically. No one cared about him. Paul Dini, brilliant comic book writer in his own right. Paul Dini, I think after that, but he wrote for Batman the Animated Series and created Harley Quinn actually. He basically wrote a fantastic episode. If you have never seen it, Heart to Voice. And if you have seen, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was just, it's a stunning episode. Absolutely gorgeous. It's really added depth to Mr. Freeze, and you kind of sympathize with Mr. Freeze in a way. You know, you're like, going, well, it's not great, he's out there committing crimes, but you know why he's committing crimes. So I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but seek it out. Mr. Freeze, Batman the Animated Series, Heart of Ice. I tell you what I don't recommend though is Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero. Not a fan of that film. I saw it and I thought, oh my god, it's still going on. Maybe I'll watch it again and I like it, but I didn't like it at the time. Although I did like a Batman animated film. I did like an awful lot. There's a lot of good actually Batman animated films, or Batman animated films. One is Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which is easily one of, and for a long time was, the best Batman film ever made. Yes, friends, even better than Batman 1989 and Batman Begins. I even hesitate to say it. A lot of people are like, no, that's the best one. No, that's the best one. Because a lot of people didn't like Joel Schumacher's Batman. But do you know what? As I've grown, I have actually got to like them an awful lot. I mean, do you know, in the same way I like Batman Begins, like Batman, what was the Dark Knight Returns, Dark Knight Rises? Is that the two sequels? I like those as well. Awful lot. I love the second one with Heath Ledger as the Joker. That's fantastic. Last one had its moments, and it was an interesting dynamic. Because cultural context of that whole thing happening, we kind of forget that now. But that film is weird in a way because Bane, his character is basically like the Occupy Wall Street folks. Remember them? He's basically an anti-capitalist, and Bruce Wayne is a capitalist. And yeah, so whether or not you agree with that doesn't really make any difference to whether you like the film or not. But a good film is a good film is a good film regardless of the message. Or you might disagree with the message and go, oh, it's stupid or whatever. But it's an interesting point of view to see. But not an unexpected one, unfortunately. But anyway. Or fortunately, depending on whatever you happen to come down on there. But anyway, it's an interesting point of view. I think it was strange. It was the fact that Bane was seen as kind of an anti-capitalist and was in the film. For some reason at the time, Fox News were really upset about that. Like, I can't believe that movie made any money at the box office. It's absolutely crazy. And it's like, lads, he's the villain. You're not. Oh, this looks terrible. You're not meant to like go along with him, whether you agree with him or disagree with him, whatever. But it's like, no one is going, yeah, he's great. People are like going, yeah, he's a bad guy. You know, I don't know. Anyway, I thought those films were pretty interesting. You know, there's no politics. There's no politics in these films. There is. Get over it. So it was funny. It was in the new Robert Pattinson film. Actually looks pretty cool. Actually, I like the look of it. People were like, oh, they made Commissioner Gordon black. It's not race. It's not race thing. It's just it should be played by a white guy. And I was there thinking, if only this kind of thing had been happened before. If only this thing had happened before. When a character in Batman, maybe, is played by a black character. Oh wait, what about Harvey Dent being played by Billy D. Williams? Why didn't they continue that? Why did they make Billy D. Williams Two-Face? That would have been so cool. Or building him up. They took too long. Took 2 films building him up. Then didn't make third one. What a pity. I don't know. Yeah, I think I've done so much shading, have I? Probably. Anyway. I think there splits up. So we can get these looks. These furled ends of the end. Actually looks terrible, but anyway, it's alright. Yeah. So, sorry. There we go. There is a drawing of the Batman. Very badly drawn, actually, but that looks crazy. This looks bonkers. This looks bonkers. Hope this out even better. I think you should have some kind of a 6-pack. Do you know what I mean? You should have something like down there, like, do you mean? There's been an indication here. Yikes. Maybe not. Maybe not. Sail away, sail away, sail away. Anyway. Right. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's see what we have. We have Wolverine here. And we have Batman here. And I suppose the other thing I said I draw an awful lot when I was a kid was the Ninja Turtles. I'm going to draw Ninja Turtle next, which I love drawing. No. It's a bit lower. I actually just draw the mask on. I think it's easier to draw them with the masks. Okay. Oops. There we go. Here we are. It's a good thing I'm not drawing with pen. Because a pen you can't erase. Yeah, I'm drawing like they were in the comics. Yeah, all edgy like. I remember a friend of mine years ago. He was telling me how, when he was younger, the turtles were edgy. I was like, alright. He said, yeah, the cartoons that are Red Sky, and they were all weird and everything. Then they became too kidified later on. And I said, you're describing the last series of the Turtles. He's like, what? No. And I was like, yeah, you're describing the last series of the Ninja Turtles show. They moved in a different direction, kind of aping what was going on with Batman, the animated series, and the Red Sky and everything, and making it kind of gritty in the 90s kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, that's what you're talking about. He was like, no. I was like, yes you are. That's exactly what you're doing. And he was like, oh, alright then. What an odd fellow. But yeah, anyway, this is Raphael. We're doing all the Angry Boys. We're doing all the Angry Boys. I hope you're not being angry this evening, though. Hope you're chilled out watching this. That's what I like to do, I like to go for a nice chilled out kind of vibe, I don't know why I did that voice. But, what am I doing? What in the name of God am I doing? Right. He's lunging. He's lunging. He's lunging towards someone. He was lunging at me. He was a green reptilian person. And he was lunging. Now, what would you describe him as? I describe him as like he was lunging at me. Right? Would you put a height in him? I'd say about 4'8". 4'8"? Yeah, about 4 feet something. Because people always forget this as well, right? Same thing with Wolverine. People always forget the Ninja Turtles are small. They're only smallies. They're smally guys. They're little smally guys. About 4 foot something. Very, very small. Oh, mercy. I think this is all. This has gone wrong. I think this is sick. No, it's okay. Yeah, sure. Look, if I go so far and I don't like it, I can always change it again, can't I? Can't I? Yes, I think so. That was weird. When I was a kid, now, why am I doing that voice? When I was a kid, the turtles were called Hero Turtles. Oh. Yeah, because apparently in England, for some reason, I suppose they're like, look, we're not changing the name. Although I don't understand why, because I don't think it was bad to say the word ninja here. But for some reason in England, there was a moral panic where you couldn't say the word ninja. Which is funny because at the same time, you could have all these kind of racist stuff on TV, but you couldn't say the word ninja. Which is a bit like, maybe get your flipping priorities in order there, England. Like, you mean? Come on. Anyway, that's, as they say, a story for another day. I don't know, do I like this at all? Oh, for God's sake, forget it. Just forget it. Just forget it. I'm gonna have him standing or something next to him. That went very badly. I think I should maybe set off the head and then do the kind of matchstick kind of stuff afterward then. That's a better idea. But yeah, so here in Ireland, as well as England, it was called Hero Turtles. Because they like the word ninja. So it was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. But I think Heroes in a Half Shell is the version in all of them. I think we're always Heroes in a Half Shell. But anyway, yeah. England in the 80s, huh? The stuff they were offended by and the stuff they weren't offended by is bizarre. Anyway, yeah, and Michelangelo wasn't allowed to have nunchucks, which never made a lick of sense to me. Alright? Michelangelo wasn't allowed to have nunchucks. Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But Leonardo had a flippin' sword. Leonardo had a sword, like. You know? It's easier to imagine yourself picking up a big bread knife and using that as a sword than it is to find a stick. You know, and that's... Oh, this is one half nunchuck. Imagine the other half, lads, will you? Do you mean? Like, I've never understood that at all. Because they changed it in years later because they're like, oh, this is a bit stupid, actually. But, yeah. Ninja Turtles, and they're still going. Was it Rising Ninja Turtles? That looked really cool. Didn't get a chance to see it myself now, but it looked really cool. Loved the design of that. I think Ben Schwartz, he was Leonardo, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe I'm thinking of his character in DuckTales, but he is great. Do you know what, right? I didn't think I'd like the I did not think I'd like the Sonic the Hedgehog film at all. But Ben Schwartz, he is so charismatic, he made that film. He really made that film. That's why that film made so much money. That's why. Genuinely. That's why kids loved this. That's why everyone else liked this. I mean, the film itself is not great. You know, it's okay. It's alright. But it's not. I wouldn't rate it that highly. You know? I'm not going to give it the pass like, oh, it's a kids' film. No. Kids' films have to be good. You know, you can't get away with just saying, no, it's sure it's a kids' film. It's for kids. Sure, leave it off. You know. A lot of stuff we liked when we were kids, they didn't just leave off. They said, no, let's actually put some effort in. And that's why it's iconic. It's also why you've adults getting upset about children's stuff now as if it's made for them. It's not. You know, you can enjoy them, you can watch them, but let's all remember, it's for kids. It's for the kids, like. Yeah, I think I like what I'm doing here. I'm guessing all these armbands and everything they added for animation. You got little that's why Yogi Bear and Fred Flintstone, all them have ties, because you can draw a bit and keep the drawing the same and put in a new hand or whatever, like, so you got a new arm, whatever. It's easier to draw that way. It's gone off the page. My God. Right. So, see, I'm gonna proportion this now. Right. Okay. Why did I draw it like this? This is very funky kind of way to do, isn't it? I don't know how I did it like this, but anyway, here we are. Here we are, gang. I think what was great though is that film they made in the 80s. That holds up. That's a fantastic film. I like it an awful lot. I like that film an awful lot. Not a huge fan of the second or third one. I know that's blasphemy for a lot of people. A lot of people are like, I really like the film. If you do, that's cool. I was not a huge fan of it. But I love the first one. The first one is untouchable. The first one's like the best comic adaptation I've ever seen, really. It's really kind of got the characters. Kind of nearly better than the cartoon, although I love the cartoon as well. I think really what I like is animation. That's what we've discovered during this. I'm a big animation fan. And what country were the Ninja Turtles predominantly made in? Ireland. Did you know that? That is not a joke. You're like, oh, because they're green. No. The Ninja Turtles cartoon was made in Ireland. I found that out a few years ago and I was like, whoa. Yes. Made in Ireland. I don't know if it was every season. I think it was the later ones. I might be wrong in saying that. That might be the other way around. But anyway, I don't know how they did it. I really don't know how they did it, because you've got to think, right? You're animating a show that's going out, an animated TV show that's going out first time, right? Every brand new episode is coming out. It's going out every single day. Each new episode is coming out every single day. Monday to Friday. There's a brand new episode of Ninja Turtles. Not like it came out once a week originally and then they had it. No. Out of the box. They were going Monday to Friday. That's... I don't know how they did it. So you look back and you go, oh, there's some animation mistakes and stuff like that. And you go, well, do you know what? For the amount of time they had to spend on making this show, they did a fantastic job of it, in fairness. What's going on with his legs? What's happening, gang? I think my hand is getting a bit sore. I have dyspraxia, you see, and that leads to cramps in your hand sometimes. I'm not really suffering from it too long now, but I am getting a bit of pain on my finger there. But so I may take a break in a bit. But yeah, every single day, every day. So there was like a load of episodes like they made. Absolutely crazy, and fair play to them all. People that worked on it, fair play to them, you know. But actually, fair play to them for making it, because it was a great show in the end. Now, does it hold up? Look, it is what it is. Right. So that's a Ninja Turtle in a weird position. I don't know why he looks like that, but I'm gonna tidy him up a little bit. Maybe add some shading, and then I think I'm gonna wrap up. So thank you for joining me on this first, my first proper Twitch stream. Actually, I think I did it before with Minecraft, but my microphone was very bad, and I didn't get deleted because I was like, this is so bad looking. It's all jerky and wonky and didn't really seem right, so I said I'd delete that. And I'm gonna stop now because my battery's going low as well. My physical battery and my actual that's better than my phone. I don't know. Look, it's not bad. It's a weird angle. I don't know why I drew them like this, but anyway, here we are. As I said from the start, I'm not a professional artist. But I hope it's fun hanging out as I was drawing, with some goofs, with some laughs. Or for Raphael. I just became a fan of Raphael the artist's artwork, actually. So I did. Yeah. And Michelangelo. I became a fan of Donatello. Do you know what? Something to look up after this stream. Leonardo, of course. Yeah. Silly as that sounds, I mean, like, that was always the joke from the 90s, like, oh, have you studied the... Hang on. I think what's funny is, so you're drawing on sometimes muscles and stuff like that'll seem weird because some people do it. When they were studying anatomy, what they're actually looking at is action figures. So when I'm thinking of a robot or turtles, I'm thinking about the toy, the little action figures, and how they looked. And what's weird is I think someone said that I should set a picture. Alex Ross, fantastic artist. Alex Ross did a Kingdom Come and everything. He's a fantastic artist. He did a painting. I should say he paints a painting of a lot of different characters, and one was Thor. And on Thor was a little thing like this on the actual arm. It was kind of like, look, if you blinked, you'd miss it nearly. Well, I suppose you wouldn't really in reading a comic. But if you weren't looking too close, you wouldn't see it, but you would spot it. It was kind of I looked up anatomy from action figures, and it was kind of like a little thing like that. Because you can't say always mistake Alex Ross's painting. He's going over this and over this and over this. It's not a mistake. He doesn't really make mistakes. Like, he's taking his time when he's doing these things. Anyway, let's look at all the drawings actually we've done so far today. We have Wolverine and Batman as well. All the childhood favourites. What's happening with the picture? We'll start off with the start. We went with Wolverine first. And that I'm not too happy. Well, I was going to say not happy, but I'm happy enough with. Could be better, but this is the first stream. I haven't drawn in ages, like literally years. I haven't drawn years. This is Batman then, of course. Not looking too bad. And we have Raphael in a weird pose. Anyway, right. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be back again next Saturday with another stream, another drawing stream, maybe something else. Yeah, so I will see you then. And of course, don't forget, you can always catch me on the radio. I'm on 9 o'clock on Tuesday. And until next Saturday, see ya. Bye.